So, in a previous video about artist alleys, I talked about my first time tabling at an artist alley. It was an insight to what I did, what I could have done better, and just a realistic look at what it's like tabling as a small creator and independent artist. But, like every experiment, you gotta repeat it to see if you get similar results. So this year, I tabled at Melbourne Supernova 2025. I had slightly higher hopes for this con because it was much more broad for fandom stuff. I found Animaga to be more catered to anime stuff because, it's pretty obvious why. This video is going to be more vlog-like, but there will be advice sprinkled all over and a little summary at the end, so I hope you enjoy and stay tuned. To be prepared for Supernova, I decided to do some research on what's in and what's out. I wanted to see more than just what I got from Animaga 2024, and by that time, it had already been like about 6 to 7 months after Animaga, and times have changed, like new stuff has been trending. While I plan to make new stuff relating to popular but not trending fandoms, there's still benefits to looking at what may or may not be super popular at the time. My market research was going to kaicon. I actually wanted to table at kaicon, but I was gonna go see Childish Gambino the night before, so I decided not to. And then my GOAT, Donald Glover, decided to cancel his goddamn tour! I mean, to be fair, he did have like a very valid reason why, but this just still pissed me off, like, Mr. Gambino, please come back. Thanks. Anyways, I attended kaicon as a helper to my friend's booth so I could help watch and sell their products. And when I was free, I walked around and asked other artists how they were doing, just to see a general insight of what was doing good and what wasn't performing the best. For my friends Plumin and Clickety, Sonic stuff did really well. And Arcane stuff, surprisingly, was a hit and miss. Plumin had this lovely Arcane Time Bomb print that barely sold, and Clickety had this awesome Sonato print that you might have seen on Twitter, and it sold out like on the first day. And they had to print like extra prints last minute for kaicon. Overall, kaicon was doing really well for them, and I was looking forward to applying for kaicon in October or November, but then I heard about the allegations and I don't know how to feel. If you're curious about what I mean, you can look at the link in the description to read more about it, but just to be clear, these are allegations, so I can't confirm or deny any of these are actually true. But even before the document came out, I had heard about these rumors in the artist alley space already, so take that as you will. Anyway, this very informal market research kind of influenced what I decided to start or stop or continue working on. Like, I had planned to make all of these arcane prints, but ended up just settling on these, and oh my god, working on all those print ideas was going to fucking kill me anyway, so I'm glad I only just stuck to the two. Because I had leftover stock from Animaga, I wasn't gonna go too crazy on making new stuff. I knew that stickers did really well for me, so I decided to make even more sticker designs and make my current keychain designs stickers to save on costs. I decided to make them while I was still in Singapore at the time, because I left Melbourne to go back home. What's up my SG gang? See bye! I was trying to look for a cost-effective place to print out all my stickers. I thought maybe a local company might be cheaper than doing it all over with Vograce. I think the funniest but weirdest place was this company that I won't name because I don't want to badmouth their business, but here's just like the WhatsApp chat that went down. Let me do like a live reading. So I first started with a couple of introducing myself and had a couple of questions about their sticker production because I wanted to try and make a sticker sheet with them. Whoa, my emo has been the screaming one this whole time. Pretend I yelled all of that like super loud or something. So I go like, hello, my name is so-and-so, here are my questions and whatever, and then they responded with like an automated message. And this was at 11 p.m, so I don't expect them to respond to me straight away because it's the middle of the night and I was just gonna assume that, oh, I mean, like, if they're a company, they're probably like asleep or whatever, so I don't care. So I replied with like an extra question because I just thought of it. Anyways, then they replied to me the next day, but when I say next day, I mean they replied to me at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night / morning. And they go, hello, no MOQ, sorry for the late reply, what up laggy, vinyl sticker, waterproof, can write, sticker sheet I need to see file to quote. That was not really the response I was expecting to receive, but it technically answered my questions in like the most, stoic way possible. Then I replied with, hello again, here's an example of the sticker sheet. I haven't colored it, but I'm thinking about it'll be just those 4. The stickers would be around 7 by 7 centimeters. Then I get a response at 1 a.m. in the morning the next day going, warm greetings, deepest apologies for the late response. able to advise the sticker sheet size, and I went A5 in the middle of the night. Then they go, "This is the file to print? Got PDF?" No, I just wanted a quote. This is an example of what I want to get printed as a sticker sheet. How many sheet? 7. Then they don't respond until the next day, or I guess technically the same day, later in the afternoon. Go, "Good afternoon. Deepest apologies for the late response. $38 for A5 sticker sheets to cut 4 designs on it and print 7 same sheets, vinyl matte finishing." So, I want to give the benefit of the doubt to the person who responded to my messages. You know, maybe they were just like really nervous, or maybe English wasn't their first language. I don't really know. But I felt like they tackled the conversation kind of unprofessionally, so I decided not to move forward with them. I ended up contacting this company called One Day Print. Is this place in Tampines? If you just make an order online, you could pick it up like the very next day, as the name of the company suggests. The reason why I went with them was mostly because I felt like I was running out of time and I didn't really want to rely on delivery and its potential unpredictability. I figured I might as well just go to a place where I could just pick up all my stickers. Whether or not I'll be cutting them out for myself is fine, as long as I can get them printed on time. That's fine with me. I would say the service for this place is pretty good. I just low-key felt like I got cheated on because I paid like $60 and I did all of the illustrator and cutting out work. I know I said I'd be fine with doing the cutting out work, but to do all that and pay $60, it feels like the labor costs are not laboring. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I even emailed them being like, "Are you for fucking serious? It's $60. And they're like, "Yeah, we're for fucking serious. Like, we're gonna print all that and it's $60. And I'm like, okay, let me not be mad. I'm an adult here. But if you live in Tampines and you need like a bajillion stickers cut out, but they're all like the same design, you can go ahead and go to that place, because I'm gonna give them the benefit of doubt. I didn't order like 100 of the same stickers. I ordered various sticker pages of different sticker designs. So that's why they surcharged me so much for all the different designs, because each piece of paper had like a different arrangement of stickers. Anyways, I digress. I went all the way to Tampines to pick it up, and listen, I'm not gonna dox myself, but I'm gonna let you guys know I don't live anywhere near Tampines. It took me like an hour and 20 minutes just to get there by MRT. It was not fun. That's why I'm only saying go there if you live near Tampines, because I'm not doing that shit again. That was far as fucking hell. I mean, I guess I could have just taken a Grab, but I was broke, so I did just drop $60 in stickers. So I didn't feel like I needed more keychains because stickers are my best sellers, and keychains were kind of hit and miss for me. I already had quite a good stock of them from Animaga, so if I was gonna make a keychain again, it was gonna be because I had a really good idea, or I was just gonna get them for free. It's a good thing both of those things happened to me. This manufacturer, GSJJ, reached out to me and offered to collaborate with me, and to that I said, yes. And I'm shilling them again in this video because I really like the quality of what I received, and they were really awesome to work with. Please check out GSJJ if you want some awesome unique products for your next convention, for your next gift idea, or just a pretty little trinket for yourself. I made this Madoka Magical pin because GSJJ offered to make me an enamel pin, and I don't think I'm ever going to make a pin again, so I decided to go big or go home. Since I knew that Madoka Magica was fairly popular, I thought it'd be cool to make a pin of them, and this is what it looks like. I even got GSJJ to add some glitter to parts of it and make it especially big, so it's much more easier to admire. As for the keychain, since Green Yuri is a pretty popular upcoming thing, I decided to make a cool Polaroid style keychain that you could just carry around and take pictures with. When I came back to Australia, I felt like I was pretty set on merchandise. I wasn't really planning on ordering anything, but I made so many last-minute sticker designs because all of my friends were making stickers, and my friend Clickety very generously offered to print all my stickers for me. I just put as many stickers as I could on a piece of sticker paper and cut it out myself later. Call that carpal tunnel speedrun. I don't mean to promote the stereotype that your best sellers would be the ones you make super last minute, but I shit you not, that is exactly what happened. More on that later. So just to do the math, the total investment was about $223.90. This amount includes the cost of the table fee, which I was splitting with 2 other artists, the cost of making stickers and prints, and getting booth materials such as containers and shelving. This is relatively less than what I spent for Animaga, since I wasn't making as many things, which is great because that means there's a better chance of me making a profit. I'm not going to include the technical amount if I were to include the cost of my Animaga stock, just because, you know, like, girl math. I still stand by the idea of not buying too much for each stock so as to not lose profit. Like for my prints, I only made 7 of each design, and for stickers I made like a max of 8 per design. I feel like this is a good test number to see how well things could sell. My friend pointed out the counter argument that if you just buy more stock in one go, it would just, in the long run, be a better investment rather than buying in small batches. Like, Plumin got maybe like 50 of each of her mouthwashing stickers because of the new Vogue Race MOQ, but in the long run, it was beneficial to her because she used that purchase for Kaicon and Supernova. I was also going to include the cost of buying new business cards because me, Clickety, and Plumin decided to have matching Pokemon Trainer business cards. Very cute, I know. But I didn't include the cost of that because when we ordered them, it got delivered to us. They were printed wrongly. Like, instead of having the border be like that of a Pokemon border, it was like twice as thick. So all of the imagery in the middle and text was condensed, and we were like, oh, that's kind of not cool, man. Why did you print that badly? And also the con's like, in 3 days, we can't get this shit fixed. So we got a refund for that, so that's why I didn't include it in the cost. Bumpin Day is when you see every bitch with a suitcase walk around the Melbourne CBD and you gotta think, okay, they're either a tourist, an international student, or they're about to set up for an artist alley. If you don't know what Bumpin Day is, it's basically the day where artists go to set up their booths before the first day of convention. You'll just be seeing a huge ass room full of people in high-vis vests setting up a table, putting like these wire racks all over and sticking stuff on the table to make their booth look as memorable and as outstanding as they can. Hilariously enough, the hardest part about Bumpin Day for me and my group of friends was not actually bumping in, but just getting to Melbourne Showgrounds. So our plan was to go from Melbourne Central to Southern Cross, then take the train at Southern Cross all the way to Melbourne Showgrounds. Simple enough, and also much more convenient because most of us were carrying suitcases. But when we got to Southern Cross, we found out that there were no trains that took you to Melbourne Showgrounds. Those trains only run when the actual day of convention starts. So we were like, damn, okay, I guess we'll take the 57 tram all the way to Melbourne Showgrounds, that's fine. There's a stop somewhere like on Burke Street or whatever, let's just take that. So we get to that tram stop and this tram service worker tells us, oh sorry, you can't take this tram, it's been shut down. Like this, it just busted down. It just stopped working. You can't take this line, and we were like, where the hell are we supposed to go? So he told us, oh, if you want to take the 57, you just have to go all the way back to Melbourne Central to do it. So we basically just spent like 2 hours and a bit just walking around the CBD, essentially in a circle, just to come back to Melbourne Central so we could take that goddamn tram. Thankfully, our luck had turned around because just as we were about to head to Melbourne Central, the 57 line started working again, so we just hopped on and went to Melbourne Showgrounds. Oh my god. That was so much trouble. The overall Bumpin Day was pretty successful, even though we came in quite a bit late. We were able to finish up setting our table. This was my section of the table. Since I was in the middle for Animaga last year, I asked if I could be on one of the sides of the table this time. I think our table looks pretty good, albeit a little bit crowded because there were 3 of us, but the Supernova table and space felt much more spacious than Animaga, so we weren't really complaining too much. From this experience, I would highly recommend tabling with just one other person rather than tabling with 3 people. While it's more cost efficient, it might affect your sales just because of how stuff is organized. It might confuse people that are just coming and going, unless you have the organization down to like a very strict area and like to the T. If you're thinking about tabling with 2 of your other friends, then make another friend. Duh. Day 1 was pretty good, a little slow for me at the start, but momentum built itself up as the day went by. My Mouth Park / Southwashing stickers did really well. There were like these 2 14-year-old girls who were bantering and yelling and like hitting each other, trying to get each other to make the decision on whether or not to buy them. One of the girls pointed at the other and she went like, "She goons to Daisuke." And that was and that was so girl core, like, I don't know, I felt like weirdly nostalgic and had like hope for the future generation. I don't know. And then when I told them that the display stickers were the last ones available, they were immediately like, oh shit, yeah, we gotta fucking buy them. And then they immediately sold them, so yeah, that was beautiful. This convention was also the first time I ever participated in the stamp rally as an artist. It was a Persona 5 one hosted by my friend Clickety, and after all these years of people explaining the franchise to me, I still low-key don't understand the premise of the game, but I picked Ryuji as the character I would draw for the stamp rally, and I feel like this is kind of telling of what kind of person I am and what archetypes of characters I like. 10 very talented artists participated and drew a character each from the game. It was a very successful stamp rally. From the experience, I would actually recommend participating in some in the future if you've never done those before. They're a great way to make some passive income and also promote people to go to your booth. I understand now why so many experienced Artist Alley people have like 5 stamp rallies going on at a time. I would still recommend opening commissions during an Artist Alley. It's a great way for people to pay you to get custom art of a very specific character or hyperfixation. It's also especially good if you have a very commissionable art style. My art style was fairly toony, so it appeals to less people based on the crowds I get in conventions, which is like fair enough, to each their own. But if you have an art style more like this, like my buddy Plumin here, I think you're gonna do pretty well. For example, Plumin, I think maybe had like 9 commissions on the first day, back to back to back, which was crazy because like deadass, she was like Hamilton, but instead of writing the Declaration of Independence, she was drawing like Yuri or something. The only downside to opening commissions is that if you have a huge influx of them, it will not only tire you out really quickly, but it might also affect how well you sell at your table. Thankfully, Plumin had 2 very awesome table mates to help her with any purchases that someone might be interested from her stock. But if you were tabling alone and you had so many commissions back to back, you're going to struggle having to take care of interested customers as well as finishing off your commissions in time. So just keep that in mind if you want to start opening commissions at conventions. After Supernova Day 1 was over, I went out for dinner with a couple friends at deadass Pacino's. It was an Italian place nearby, and I don't really know if it was because I was super tired and I only eaten maybe coffee that whole day, but the pizza there was fucking awesome. So like if you're dead and tired and dying and also near Melbourne Showgrounds, you should go eat there at Pacino's. Day 2 was where I felt the struggle of commission influxes. I didn't expect to get so many people who were interested in what I would draw, but here we are, and this is me making bank off of people who were asking me to draw them. It was fucking crazy. I think the funniest commission I got was when this person came up to our booth and wanted my Chikawa commissions. I was like, yeah, sure, what character and animal do you want to become Chikawa-fied? And she said, oh, could I just have this character done? And I was like, oh, that's just like a picture of me. That's if I was like a Chikawa character, is that okay? And then she responded with, yeah, sure, it's fine, it's really cute and I couldn't think of any characters. So that was my favorite one because it was the quickest one to draw and it was literally just a picture of me. I made it in like less than 3 minutes. Like in hindsight, I feel like I should have just given more time to like actually pick a character, but I was just so taken aback with her asking me to draw myself, I forgot. I repeat, so many Chikawa commissions, it was fucking crazy. They were really fun, but also really tiring because I had so many. I also got some Sonic Sonas, which were also really fun to draw, and if I had a nickel for every Sonic Sona that I drew that was a cat with red streaks in their hair, I'd have 2 nickels. Not a lot, but crazy that it happened twice. The other crazy thing was that for both days of the convention, 3 people came up to my booth and were like, are you Lay Scribbles? And I was like, oh yeah, and then they went like, I watched your YouTube video and now I'm an RMIT animation. I am going to I was low-key kind of embarrassed but also amazed that my video helped so many people. Were like, what did I do? What did I do? But for real, thank you for watching my videos and glad it was any help or comfort. If you see me at uni, it's on site. So watch your ass. So if you watched until this point or just skipped all the way till now, the moment you've been waiting for is here. After calculating how much money got picked up on my Square Reader, how much money I got in cash and coins, and what I got from the stamp rally, I made $711.84. I'm honestly just glad I made my money back and more. Like, yippee! I have like so many weeks worth of groceries now, or like 90% of the Switch 2 with Mario Kart World, I think. This was a much more successful outcome than Animaga. It really lifted my spirits and motivated me to be braver and have more fun at conventions. Here were my best sellers and what I thought would sell but didn't. My Mouth Park Southwashing stickers, I sold out of these guys on the first day and had to make more last minute for the second day, but surprisingly they only did so-so on day 2. My Sonic Kawa stickers, I literally made these like 2 nights before Supernova and they sold out on the first day, and I think did slightly better than the Mouth Park stickers on the second day, which was really cool, really crazy. Like goddamn, the artist curse of your bestsellers being the last thing you make is not being disproved here. And finally, my JJ stickers. I was surprised that these ones did much better than my Victor ones, but nope. But JJ for the win. Let's go. Walla wah. This is so fucking stupid. Now for what I was surprised didn't sell. These Sonic speech bubble stickers you could write on. I tried selling these as a set, but damn! Nobody give a fuck, man! I then switched to selling them separately because of this, but it didn't really change the outcome. I sold like one Shadow and one Knuckles sticker because of it, but I wasn't sure why people weren't so interested in them. I had some misprinted smaller ones in my bargain bin, and people liked those, so I can't tell if it was because of the lower price or the size. Anyways, I expected my keychains and prints to be a hit or miss, but I was so surprised that my Madoka Magica pin didn't do so well. I expected it might be because of the broad expanse of fandoms at Supernova and Madoka Magica was just not one of its highlights. There were people who did take interest, but not enough to want to buy the pin, and I think I only sold like one the whole convention. But I'm not too fussed about it, because I'm certain there's an audience who will love these pins as much as I do. From this new con experience, what I learned is this, and this is gonna be me kind of like freeballing it. I kind of just have all of this in like bullet points. So let's go. If possible, share a table with at most one other person. You will thank each other later because you'll have ample space to keep all your crap, have ample space to do all your work, and have ample space to showcase all your work appropriately so it's not confusing when people pass by your booth. Participate or host stamp rallies. They're great, like I said, they're a great way to make passive income, and all you really have to do is just like make a set of stickers. You might not make profit out of them, but they will definitely increase traction to your booth and get people to recognize you better as an artist. Live commissions are a great way to make cash. Just don't overwork yourself. And finally, have fun. Make friends, meet some new mutuals, just introduce yourself and appreciate the art that's around you. Easier said than done. Like, I was definitely a lot more socially anxious the first time I did conventions, or the first time I went to any convention. I think most artists in artist alleys were all kind of similar, you know, like we're all in the same boat of trying to sell our handmade products, and it's just nice to branch out and meet more of the community, and participating or tabling at an artist alley is a great way to do that. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. It's pretty long, but I hope it was of any help, or at least entertaining. Maybe I'll see you guys in the next big convention. I wrote this script saying Animaga 2025 let me in, but by the time this video gets out, I'm not sure if I'll get in at all. I've been waitlisted at Animaga, and I highly doubt that they're gonna let me and Flumen in because of how many applicants there are, and I doubt that any of them will drop out. But if there's any if you have any convention recommendations that still have their applications open, let me know, I guess. I would love to table again this year because tabling is cool and I also like money. Like and subscribe and stuff, that'd be so silly, cool, and goated of you. Thank you!